Chapter 7. The Law of Expanding Influence. The seventh universal law of success. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner space of the universe. W. D. Wattles. The seventh law reveals how your resonance influences others, and how theirs has an effect on you. All of life is an exchange of energy, and it's always moving everywhere around us. An ongoing process of accumulation creates the vibrational and emotional undercurrent to all of our lives. Of course, there are some quantum physical phenomena that demonstrate how this process works. The first influence is called phase entanglement. In the natural world, particles converge and separate, but often when two of them come together, they take a portion of the other with them when they part. This is the essence of phase entanglement. When two entities meet, each one's energy becomes attached to the other. Each leaves something behind when it moves on. The emotional experiences of humans can become phase entangled too. In fact, it happens every day to each one of us. We engage with another person, and we take their vibration away with us, just as they take ours with them. For example, when we argue with a moody teenager, we can become irritable ourselves. When we spend time with a depressed person, we may notice ourselves feeling down, even long after we've left them. And being around someone who's jubilant leaves us carrying that joy ourselves. Emotions are contagious, and each person's energy is influential. This is a critically important principle in our pursuit of success. Because of the intricacies of energetic influence, we must be acutely aware of the relationships we forge, not only in our personal lives, but also in our social and professional lives as well. The spirit of others not only influences our thoughts, moods, and sense of well-being, it shapes our choices as well. You can see how this pattern would be an important consideration in owning or managing a business. The phenomenon makes it especially important to hire people of integrity. Since energetic influences expand in the world, you wouldn't want someone of lower vibrations spreading the energies of neglect and deceit in your workplace. For the same reason, it's also important for you to have integrity in your business dealings. There's an old adage that says, "As the king, so goes the country." This means that the resonant attitudes and actions of the leader are picked up by his people and spread far and wide. It's a truth that we can still see working in the world today. This is the case for countries, as well as communities, companies, and families. The law of expanding influence shows that your own energy expands in the world and has influence in your personal arena and in the world at large. You can, and do, have an impact on everything from the productivity of your company and the harmony of your family all the way to the peace of the world. The power of your own personal vibration becomes global by virtue of this law. When you choose to live with reverence in your heart and direct it toward those around you, that positive energy spreads to all your circles of influence, and eventually, your intention for harmony expands in the consciousness of every human being. If you want your family life to be more peaceful, you must create that intention within yourself first. If you want your workers to be more industrious, you must begin to project that energy in your own life. Everyone needs to understand the influence and extent of their own power. In the pursuit of success, the requirements are honesty, enthusiasm, encouragement, and support. Whether we're talking about a well-oiled business or a happy and loving relationship, these are the personal wavelengths that are necessary to produce the most desirable results. Expanding action. As we saw earlier, Bell's theorem of non-locality reveals that what happens in one location can have a significant influence in a far-off distant place. This is true for your personal energy and action too. In this amazing universe of ours, anything can happen any place, anytime. Because of the quantum connections we all share, our actions and intentions can bring immediate results from surprising people and unexpected locales. From the tiniest particle to the greatest mass, the universe is a vibrating realm of potential, an abundant field of all possibilities. Because of these vast opportunities and our non-local power, we should remain encouraged to always continue to take action in the direction of our goals. The results may not come in the manner we expect, but with the right energy, those results will come just the same. A friend of mine experienced this phenomenon when she was attempting to adopt a baby. She was going through a domestic adoption with an agency that found prospective birth mothers, each of whom had the choice of several couples with which to place her baby. After nearly a year of trying to find someone through her agency, Megan was ready to give up. Her lawyer suggested that she send letters to the obstetricians and gynecologists in the area, because they often had patients who had had an unwanted pregnancy and were looking to place their child in an adoptive home. So she sent out hundreds of letters and attended many meetings, still with no luck. During this time, she often called me to express her frustration, and I advised her to keep taking action in every direction. Whenever you plant the seeds of intention, you never know when or where they're going to bloom. She continued her activities in every way she could, and several months later, she got a call from the original agency that she'd long ago given up on. They had a birth mother who was due the following January and had picked out Megan and her husband Sam as one of the 3 prospective adoptive families. Megan and Sam would now have to go through several interviews with the birth parents to determine if they'd be chosen. She was going to give up on sending the letters and making other contacts, but I advised her not to. I told her that continuing to work on the situation in many different ways would help her reach her goal. Expanded actions, that is, looking in every direction, help reduce urgency, keeping away the negative influences of paradoxical intent. Megan experienced this because the more she kept working on her other options, the less desperate she felt about being chosen. She'd already had several potential adoptions fall through, and she needed to surrender her attachment to this outcome in order to attract the ultimate results. All her activity helped her to remember that what she wanted was a baby, not necessarily this one. By continuing to see options in all sorts of different directions, she was able to let go of the urgency and obsession that might have sabotaged her results. In addition to reducing urgency, continued action greatly expands intention. The more you undertake, the more energy you send out regarding your intention. Each and every deed is like placing another order in the universe, and you never know how or when it's going to respond. You may plant the seeds in one area, but end up seeing the results somewhere else entirely. That's what happened to Megan. She'd given up hope on the agency, but all her other actions brought them back to her. Then, while she was going through the interviews with the birth parents, she continued working on all sorts of other directions. It not only kept her calm, but it also reaffirmed her intention to make this dream a reality. In the long run, all her efforts paid off. Slowly but surely, the other potential couples were weeded out, and Megan and Sam were chosen to be the adoptive parents of this birth mother's little boy to come. Her dream became a reality, all because she refused to stop taking action. The energetic power of our non-local nature is profoundly effective. Every thought and every deed plants a new seed in the garden of our destiny. We may not immediately be aware of the effects, but it's important to know that the process of intention and influence has no end. It always brings results in one way or another, so we might as well intend the best and take positive action in every direction. In this way, we open ourselves to all the options that the universe may have in store, even the unexpected ones. Journal for success. Use your journal to explore how you can expand your personal intentions in even more directions, considering each specific goal or desire. Investigate some different or perhaps even unorthodox ways of working on making them a reality. If necessary, do some research or ask friends to help you brainstorm ideas. Jot them down and add new ones whenever they may come up. Once you have some fresh approaches in mind, don't be afraid to implement them. Sometimes the best results can come from the most unusual concepts. Expanding worldwide. The ripples of our influence aren't limited to the pursuit of our own personal goals. In fact, this is just a small part of consciousness creation. Whether we realize it or not, our impact expands outward to reach even the far corners of the world. The seventh universal law shows that your own energy moves out to bond with other energies that are similar. These clouds of bonded vibrations become fields of consciousness that exude immeasurable influence on the experience of our species. These worldwide fields of consciousness are called morphogenetic fields, or M fields for short. Like electromagnetic and gravitational fields, the M fields are forces that are capable of swaying the very nature of our lives. Emotion and information are the energies that build on these fields, affecting the significant transition of our species. These great storehouses of shared consciousness are fed by each and every individual's energy, including yours, and then that accumulated power billows out and touches others. There are two major fields of emotional consciousness, that of love and that of fear or hate. As individuals, all our thoughts, beliefs, and choices and behaviors contribute to the expansion of one or the other of these. Every time that we make a loving choice, whether it's for ourselves or for someone else, we feed the field of love. But every time we engage in hate or judgment, again, whether it's directed inward or outward, we're feeding the field of fear. As the accumulated energy builds in each of these realms, the resonance of that particular energy increases in the universe, and the consciousness of love or hate moves out to influence the choices and experiences of others. Whatever is fed the most will have the greatest power in our world. This is our individual responsibility, to choose love in our own minds and lives, and in the lives of others, thereby accelerating the energy of caring in the world. If we don't, then hate and fear will accelerate instead. This isn't a function of the fields having any specific intention, because they're actually impartial. Just as gravity has no emotional investment in the literal ups and downs of our activities, the fields of love and hate are indifferent to how we deal with their influence in the world. Each person's intention determines the course of humanity. Every individual's emotions and actions feed the energy and power that you'll see all around. So if you want love, rather than hate, to expand in your relationships, business, and world, then you must engage in more caring energy toward yourself and others. As you'll see in the next chapter, the power of love is always at your disposal. Bring it to your consciousness, energy, and intention, and you'll not only bring blessing to your own life, your expanding influence will bring them to the entire world. Affirmations for my expanding influence. I know that my energy expands in the world. The more action I take toward my goals, the more my intention is embraced by the universe. I walk and move at a comfortable pace. I do everything at a leisurely tempo. I am relaxed and I carry that calm and tranquil energy to others. I know that my own energy expands in my life and in the universe. I choose unconflicted energy now. With every peaceful thought I think, the power of peace expands. I look for the joy I can bring to others. It is a gift to myself to be of service. I see the value in everyone around me. Together we share the energy of the world.